ABZU is a third-person adventure exploration game with an artistic design, developed by Giant Squid Studios in 2016. It offers players one of the most interesting and extensive underwater experiences in the current gaming environment. The game is what can be called an experience game, indicating that sound and color are key elements. In this video, we would like to argue that ABZU uses these elements in such a way that the differences in sound and color reinforce the overall relaxed and calming tone of the game. The game is divided into several segments that have identical idea rules and only function to emphasize the different tones that are presented in the game. The first phase is mainly about peaceful exploration. This phase guides you through several underwater environments, and here the player engages with the world and learns the basics of the game. The music and graphics immediately create a gripping feeling that immerses the player in this unknown world. The combination of sound and visuals relaxes the player, getting them into the flow of exploration as they lose the sense of time. And the only thing that matters is experiencing the environment and the underwater life forms around them. Through the use of different shades of blue and green, the effect of relaxation is heavily enforced, and topping it off with an orchestral soundtrack that radiates with soft yet influential sounds also allows the player to get fully immersed in a relaxing experience that the game aims to bring. After the exploration of these light-hearted environments, the player encounters darker areas of the ocean that are seemingly devoid of life. However, quickly finding out that the character you play as has the power to turn this dead area into a spring of life. This creates the main drive of the game. The sense of restoration drives the player, and it creates the feeling of accomplishment, a feeling of resurrecting a once beautiful oasis. These dead areas are indicated by a darker color palette and less intense orchestral music, sometimes even going entirely silent. As the player delves deeper into this ocean world, they find out that there was an event that disrupted the equilibrium that the oceanic system was built on, and together with a companion, the player gets to take the cost of this disruption down. Upon coming into contact with the quote-unquote evil of the game, the player immediately experiences a drop in the music, with a heavy emphasis on lower tones. On top of this, the character finds itself in a cramped space, surrounded by indicative orange and red lighting, automatically indicating that the place the player has found themselves in is not natural or good in any way. However, the first attempt to stop this evil fails. Your companion dies, and you end up exploring a temple that holds the secrets to your final confrontation with the evil. Exploring this temple goes back to the first phase we talked about, as it is mainly about calming exploration. However, while these moments of exploration are enhanced with the darker color palette, which is generally indicative of danger, combining it with an uplifting and mysterious soundtrack creates an entirely different atmosphere that enforces the aspect of exploration that the game offers. Upon finding the answer to the greater evil, you enter an area where you engage in the fast-paced task of purifying the ocean. This area is filled with a multitude of lighter pinks, purples, and radiant yellow colors. The music here also starts sounding more and more like choir music, implying that something harmonious is happening. The feeling of closure to the game is also inbound, as the journey is approaching its end. The last action sequence, once again, takes place in a predominantly red and orange palette. However, this time, while swimming through, all surroundings, alongside the spirit of the great white shark, are a familiar light blue. Accompanied by a high-tempo, light-sounding orchestral piece, this creates a build-up to a climax, the climax being the end of the game. The combination of the hints of blue explosions among the palette of reds and the rapid music as a stark contrast to the eerie music that previously accompanied this location creates a closing to a short, yet emotional adventure. In this video, we attempted to argue that while most games use a peaceful and relaxing moment as a break from the action for the player, ABZU uses action as a break from the relaxing feel of the gameplay. This is shown clearly in the changing colors and sounds between different parts of the gameplay. Even if there is an engaging storyline to follow, its role within the gameplay experience is arguably surpassed by the incredibly detailed game world environment that invites the player to take their time with it, to explore every aspect of it, and thus get immersed in a beautiful gaming experience independent of the story it offers.